And I think we're live.
That's the rumor.
Every time I do this, it's like a surprise. It's nice. It's like a hidden secret. You never quite know what you're going to get. I'm just waiting for the internet to catch up and tell me that we are, in fact, live. I think. Yep, everything looks live there. Hey, there we go. I did it. I feel like a big boy.
They hide all of our friends.
We do have friends in the chat. We have Fotis and Sparta3D himself, Joseph, Nando, and Liz, and Bob. And there was a veteran here. A Wexter was here. I don't know if he's still here. Who knows? But it's good. It's a Sunday. How's your Sunday going?
It's all right. It's early here.
It's early there. And I appreciate you waking up on a Sunday to come hang out. Because there's a 3-hour time difference between Bob and myself. So therefore, it's still morning. But for me, it's afternoon. And for our friends on the other side of the pond, like Fotis, it's evening. Time zones, man. I get you. All right. All the cool kids. That's right. Before we get going too far, I have a few things I want to discuss.
Uh-oh.
I know. Look at this. Look at this sweet t-shirt I bought. It is a MakerDeck t-shirt. And if anybody who doesn't know about MakerDeck is watching this, I don't know what you're doing with your life. But you know about MakerDeck. And everybody here already knows. But this shirt, super comfortable feeling. I'll wear it maybe tomorrow. I'm just going to hang it up there for now. So nice backdrop. Second thing I wanted to talk about. Look, I print things again. And it's a beautiful Mando bust by some Greek guy.
Some Greek guy.
Some Greek guy. Namely Fotis Mint. Now, our buddy Fotis took a couple months off for rest, relaxation, recovery. And when he came back, he brought this with him. And damn, it's so good. And I happen to notice, because I'm an observant person, that in the bottom right-hand screen of MakerDeck currently, there is a Bob Carnes.
This How guy, dare he?
Printing on that printer over his shoulder.
This one here.
Yeah.
And in the background is another MakerDeck merch.
Did you see the new one that Fix'em Dude made?
I did.
Oh, that's so good.
So you know the plan is going to be, you see how that one's hanging back there?
The other one will be behind the other printer.
I think that if he stops at about 4, I can line the whole printer shelf with them.
Do you think he can stop? Do you think he knows how to stop? I don't know.
If he doesn't stop, we might have to do some rotations.
Right. You know what? We're just going to put Mando on the tool changer for now. Because he's just going to watch over what we're doing for the day. What other business did I have to attend to? Oh, I spent a week in the woods camping, which is why with no printers, which is why this printer sat here. Sad, lonely.
How dare you, sir?
And now it's saying, please fix me, finish me, so that you can get in and out of your office easier. Because it's a big printer and it takes up a lot of space.
Lots and lots of space.
Yeah. For anyone who missed it, I did do a little bit of work off stream on the printer. I did do some streaming on MakerDeck, where I was able to get the, hang on, let me bring it up here, where I was able to get the gantry completely installed. There it is right there, just zooming into focus. I have the whole thing installed. running nice and smooth with a terrible camera angle. Well, that's what you get. So the gantry is nice and smoothly installed. That took just a few minutes of fiddling around. All the belts are on it. And
all the belts are just the Z belts.
All the Z belts are just the Z belts. We still have all the other belts to do today. Also have decided ultimately now to go with the stealth burner hot end setup, as LDO has made an adjustment to a part that they have. So this was a board that is included with the kit. It unfortunately does not work with the stealth burner by default. They created a small little printable bracket adapter so that it moves it over, and now you're able to use their board with it without having to get the new stealth burner board, because of course they changed things and they moved the board around and changed the connectors. And
do we know if that changed the functions at all?
It does have a few more ports on it than the other one. In my time to get this going, I of course purchased the updated stealth burner board, as I thought there was no other alternative. This is the new stealth burner board that I just picked up off some seller on Etsy because it's an open source board. Everybody and anybody can make it. But what it does is it has a couple forward facing ports, a couple down facing, and then back and forward, because when it gets nestled into this, there's a panel here that blocks the ports, which is why you have some forward facing ones. LDO has just gone ahead and bumped the whole thing back a little, and it'll be fine.
So you have choices.
Yes, there's a few choices. This particular board has an integrated port for the LED lights that are on the stealth burner. The LDO kit, because it came with the upgrade path for that, doesn't have the lights on the board, but it does have a wiring loom that you can bring to it with a quick disconnect. So we'll get to that when we do the wiring. I've already fiddled with the extruder face and installed the 2 fans and the LEDs, because there's no doing that on camera. I'll be honest with you. It's so fiddly and right up close that it's just not possible. Because I'm sitting here with it in my hands doing this, and you're not seeing anything. So that's ready to go. The extruder motor that comes with the LDO kit is for the plain afterburner, I think is what it's called, the regular run-of-the-mill extruder and hot end setup. This is the motor suggested by LDO by Voron for the switch wire or stealth burner. Yes, stealth burner. Words are hard. It is an LDO motor that I picked up at Sparta3D, and it will go together with all of this and make it go happy. I finished printing off all the parts the other day, made a few custom inserts into the skirts. Show off
nice. That's a nice little, just a little touch.
Yeah, I've got a few more that I'm going to make for a few more of the sponsors, and that's just going to happen on the other skirt. But we've got the LDO one is a download as part of the LDO kit. They say, hey, if you want to put one of these in your thing, here it is. Then we've got the Sparta3D, of course, and the Tiffy's lemonade stand. And these are just little, I like to call them like the little croc gems, but they just pop in to the hexagons, and I quickly remixed them into whatever I wanted, right? It's pretty straightforward. And I think that's all I've got. I got an input shaper board over here somewhere.
Well, you know what I've got? I've got a Frosty and a fish in chat.
A Frosty and a fish?
Right?
Wow. Wow. Well, that's good. I need more coffee.
Correct.
I did see, however, too, that our friend Mr. David Randolph was building a 2.4. I think it was last night.
It
Yeah, it's just
was last night. I saw that myself.
13 hours ago. He was streaming on YouTube. I skimmed through, just saw how it was going for him. Looks like he got to a nice point on his. He might pick his up later today. He might not. Who knows? But you got me, and that's always good. And we're just want to get this all wrapped up as best we can because Earth is coming. And with Earth coming, still
You got
time
to
to
clean up
build
that
printers.
office.
I got to get out of here. I got to go. Take the 9.5-hour drive from here down to the States and go see all the lovely people. And I hope to see many of these people who are in the chat today there in person, because that would be nice.
I think that is the plan.
I hear Fotis is going to be there, and that makes me warm in the heart. So, should we start building this thing, Bob?
I think you should.
Okay. Right. Now, bear with me, though, for anybody watching. I'm using a new streaming virtual camera thing. I may not push buttons properly. But it lets me do all kinds of fun stuff pretty easily, so. Although I can't move that. Oh, I can move that around. What? Yes. That is good. I like it. Okay. Squirrel time. So I am on page 124 of the manual.
Well, blow it up. Let's get a good look at it.
Blow what up?
Your image.
Oh, jeez. Bob, you're so on it. No, that's wrong. That's right.
There you go.
Thank you. All right. So we're at the stage now where we have to start running some more belts. And let me tell you, there's a lot of belts to run.
So is there any way we're going to be able to see what you're doing here?
There is. It's called Move Everything. One moment, please. Shaky camera warning in 3, 2, 1.
Earthquake!
Wow! That was a real earthquake.
Tsunami.
There we go. You can see.
Hooray!
Wow, it's crooked. Who put this guy in charge of video?
You need a better video guy.
I sure do. The one I got is just... He's on his last leg. All right, so you can see better now. This moves like it's very, very smooth, which is what you want, right? You don't want on a Core XY. The last thing you want is this binding up at all. And then this obviously goes. Wow. And then I've got a bunch of belt.
You know, one of these days, if we do this more often, I'm going to have to set up some sound effects.
Oh, yeah, it'd be nice to have one of those Stream Deck thingies where I could push a button and have R2 going, wow!
Right?
That would be good. I have to look at how the belt wants to run here.
Morning, Duff.
It's a Duff. It's also morning for Duff because Duff is 2 hours delayed from me.
And, you know, when Duff shows up, how good would it be to have the Simpsons Duff Man?
Duff Man. It's true. Okay. So what I need to do is I need to just bite the bullet and make 2 belts out of this 1 belt. Because I'm going to have to run 2 belts all the way around and then tighten them up.
You can't run them one at a time? And
no, because of the way they designed the holder for this. Part of the mount is the belt holder. So there's that.
And our buddy Thaneth made it.
Thaneth. I like how he's made it. Well, what else were you doing, Thaneth?
It'd be nice if they would tell you, hey, cut the length to...
You know, I think they did at some point.
You know, cut it to 1.5 meters or something. You know, give it some slack.
Yeah, let's see. Belt idlers. It does talk about at one point the length you need for these belts, but quite frankly,
They are telling you to run them one at a time.
Think I could do it one at a time?
It says, we recommend to run 1 belt to get the required length, remove the belt from the printer, and cut the second belt to the exact same length.
Oh, geez. Wow, you are reading and I am looking. Thank you. This is why I would... Oh. Okay, that happened. Just deal with it.
That's what happens when you give me instructions.
Because there's a lot of belt here. Okay, so let's just stick that in there. What size screw holds that on? M3 by 8.
Oh, and there's a Brit.
Ooh. We have a Sith Lord Brit in the house. See, and I would steal Perillo's little Sith Lord Brit commentary for my stream deck. Okay, let's leave ourselves like an inch hanging out the front of the thing for now.
Well, if this kit is anything like every other LDO kit I've seen,
you've
got some extra to play with.
Yes, I know I'm going to have a little bit extra belt. I mean, considering I have so many feet of belt right now, it's not even funny. And it's currently twisted around my robotic foot. Thank you. Always nice. Okay, what I need to see just an overview. Because I know how to run belts. I just need a... They've got some really good pictures here of like...
Page 126 seems to be pretty good.
Yeah.
And 127.
All right, so the left belt shoots left, goes over, around, Jimmy jogs around the right, around into the front. Okay, I can handle that.
So I need you to repeat after me.
Yes.
Hi, Jerry.
Hi, Jerry. Oh, hey, it's Jerry.
And Ben.
Ben?
Ben.
What? Sorry, Ben, I'm not wearing my lemonade stand shirt. They're in the laundry. Oh, God. What have I done, Bob? What have I done?
We don't ask those kinds of questions because who needs that kind of negativity?
Oh, God. Yeah, we're just going to freeball this for a minute because we got to cut some belts. There's just no way around it. I can't thread them 7 feet of belt at a time.
Well, I think there might have been a mistake with attaching that end of it and trying to run the whole thing. if you'd have left that end loose and just fed it through and then secured the bulk to the end, you might have been better off.
Well, we can still do all of that. We have the technology. As nothing is secure yet. Not even my ability to do this.
Is this the 300 or the 350?
350.
And Wexter is here.
Yay! Where does that go? Oh, isn't that something? Wow, that is a interesting thing to try to route your belt through.
You can do it. And to be fair, you better do it, because there's rumors that I've got one of these on the way.
Yeah, there is.
Uh-oh, now we're in for it.
So for anybody who don't know, I managed to convince Bob to buy a printer.
You're such a bad influence.
And not just any printer, but this one.
Different colors, though.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to buy the one that I've built. That guy does not know what he's doing. That really means business in there. Okay. I just got to work myself around the printer here.
I think Frosty might not have been paying attention to that little comment. Either that or he's passed out in shock.
Correct. I think he's ready for you to join him. I can't wait to be here when you build yours.
Yeah, see, I don't think that's going to be an online thing.
Oh, God. You know, okay, for everybody who's all like, good for you. You get to build a printer on stream. Building printers on stream is not as fun as you think it is. Like, it's great to have company, and I love having the company.
Oh, yeah, we'll probably do this, in the Discord.
Yes. And having company while building something is delightful because you can, like, check my work and, oh, you forgot a bolt, or,
Hey, read these instructions.
Hey, learn to read, dum-dum. But, like, having to set up cameras and lights and all that jazz. Okay, I think. So I went about it a different way here. I don't know if you noticed. I went backwards to the instruction. Because that just seemed like
a backwards kind of guy.
Well, it just seemed to be.
Don't get overzealous with this, because this stuff is really just measuring the belt so you can cut the other one.
Yes. And I'm going to be leaving slack, so it's not a big deal. But I have like 10 more feet of belt on the floor here.
Good morning, David Wheeler.
David Wheeler.
And I know David's on that side of the world with you and your fancy time zones, but it's still morning here.
So I'm leaving a significant excess here.
Which is good, because did you guide that belt through the motor path? Because it kind of goes into the up and around and a funky little thing.
On this side, I did. On this one, I did not, because you don't do it on this.
Because it's the other one.
It goes this other one, yeah.
Yeah.
which is
Frosty
now the
pointed
one.
it out, so I had to ask you.
Yeah, it's a very odd little up and around and over and under. All right. Now this end, we're just going to have to do it. Rain!
Rain!
Oh, we got all kinds of people in here today. What a great surprise. So now, okay. The B belt goes around the opposite direction to that one. Okay. Cool. Cool. Let me tell you, sticking them in this little idler, I think, is one of the trickiest bits. It's a good thing I have these tweezers that come with most of my Sparta3D orders.
They don't give you like a clearance hole or anything to push it through?
There is. But what I like to do is I'll kind of bend this back to the curvature that I want it to go on. Right? Like I want it to curve this way, so I'll kind of give it a pre-curve. And then I can feed it in this hole. Push it around the idler.
Richard would like to know when you're going to be finished building his new printer.
Oh, right about the same time he sends me my used drone.
Oh, David says he needs some motivation because he's at the wiring stage.
Oh.
And he's losing the excitement.
I'll tell you, the LDO kit. Like I don't want to poop on your party here, but that's where the excitement is. Because oh, this is like
Mark says he used a zip tie to fish through, then the belt comes back with it.
yeah. I just stick my head in there and hope that everything works. Do they both have to go through that same hole? No, it comes out snug to the thing. Okay, I think I'm on it. I think I can. Nope, that's not right.
Frosty, the good thing about these LDO kits is it comes with that wiring harness. And
yeah.
Richard, is it your birthday today?
No. Don't lie, Richard.
Lex wants to know how long this build takes. The answer is 2.5 evers.
The answer is yes.
It's not forever. It's only 2.5.
Okay, so I need that to come out there.
Richard says it is his birthday today.
Jeez, Richard, happy birthday. You can celebrate by buying me a present.
Richard will have to wish you a happy birthday later in the Discord as well. I hope you have a great day.
Yeah, and definitely don't spend your birthday day hanging out here.
Or do. Different strokes for different folks, dude.
That's true, I guess. But oy vey. This one is a Interesting one.
Wex has a request of you.
Okay.
And specifically of you.
Okay.
You need to sing Richard Happy Birthday.
Oh. That's on the OnlyFans.
That's on the Only Monkeys, is it?
That's on the Only Monkeys. Eh? That shit costs money.
Frosty says he's been able to get this build down to 10 hours with all of his experience building them.
Well, that's good for us.
It provides hope. Richard wants you to know that he's willing to trade you Rat Rig for Voron.
Oh.
Specifically this one.
Yeah, but he built his Rat Rig, didn't he?
And you're building this Voron.
Right. I think there's a...
What are you trying to say there?
I'm trying to say this is a pain in the butt. I can get it in and around the pulley and then out the other side, except the other problem is it's not lined up at the right height.
Can you fish it through the other side, kind of push both in, fish it a little extra through, push both ends in a little bit and kind of wiggle it to the position that you need?
What I think I'd be better off to do is fish it the other way and just string this belt backwards. Like this. Sorry for the camera angles. I apologize in advance because, quite frankly, I need to see what I'm doing here. Okay, here we go.
Just so you know.
Okay.
Fish appreciates us talking all this fishing.
Huh. Just so you know, I put that in completely ass backwards. It has to go this way. Like, does fish get a kickback every time I say I have to fish this through here? So, Bob, tell me about, or tell the other people, anyways, about the Voron build that you're going to do.
Well, I don't know. I know that it came from Sparta.
Yes.
I know it's a fantastic LDO kit with all the parts well labeled.
Yes.
I know it's going to be purple and black.
Yes.
And I know that all the parts got printed from the Spiffy service.
So you went with the Spiffy.
I went with the Spiffy.
So,
because, I've never printed ASA or ABS.
Right, okay.
And since ASA is a newer material, I thought, hey, let's do that. Since I've never done it, instead of the pain of trying to learn it on an open air printer.
And get your slicing settings right.
And all of that. I said, these guys are good at this stuff because I've seen the pictures of what they do. Let's see if we can get that rolling. And they were kind enough to oblige.
Right. And now also you get your parts at a seemingly more rapid pace because you don't have to wait for them to be printed.
Correct.
At home, anyways. You did have to wait for them to be printed before they got sent. But
And if I was comfortable printing the stuff myself and set up the printers and started printing them at any time, that wouldn't have been such a big deal. But like I said, never having printed these materials before, I can set up a hotbox on the Prusa and knock them out. I'm sure it would work fine.
right.
But I've seen the quality that these guys spit out in their prints, and I'm excited for it.
And let me tell you, there are a lot of parts in this thing.
Yes, Frosty, purple frame.
I swear to God, whoever designed this.
Have you got it done?
No.
Okay, so Mark posted a picture in the Discord for us, and it looks like it would actually work real slick to use the zip tie as your pull string.
I've got it just about where I want it. What I'm going to do is remove that bolt, pull this out, and then feed that back through there and there. Now I've got it.
We've got a new viewer called Hoot Builds. Not quite sure who that is, but hello.
Hello. Hoot hoot.
They're lurking while they sort Lego, which is fantastic.
Lego on, man. Lego on. Or woman. Person.
Frosty, why would I not print ASA on a Prusa with an enclosure?
Because if you say anything negative, Frosty, you know I've been printing a lot of hours of ASA on my Prusa.
The heat creep from printing that much ASA would start to warp the Prusa.
Nope.
Okay.
Sure don't. I've put a kilogram or more through there. That's after all the ABS. Jeez.
And Duff, you're correct. I don't have to deal with the failed prints.
Or the successful prints either.
Ben says he keeps talking to us out loud because he's so used to hanging out with us in the Discord.
Oh.
Looks like you got a bit of a twist there.
I do. That's okay. I can work that out because I'm just going to untwist that. There we go. Yeah. All right. Just keep you in the middle. I'm stepping on belt.
Michael Cassell, good morning.
No. This has got to go high. And this one's got to go low. Because then that goes around here, like we mentioned, a little loop-de-loop roll. Let me tell you, Joe, these tweezers, super handy. Other than the fact that I've stabbed my hand 5 times. Like this loop-de-loop is easier, right? You just fish it up through the hole and then back around and out. Once I get this cut. So the reason I don't want to just like plain cut this is good belt, and why waste it?
Oh yeah, there's always a need for that belt later.
Oh. There we go. Yeah. Go that way. Okay. Holy jeez. Trying to do a little bit more off camera here. I'm gonna need to sit soon, man. I did not expect printer build to be like a full activity.
So Mark points out to make sure the belt stays looped on the bearing and into the pulley and doesn't ride the printed motor mount. And Fish says that something's wrong.
What's Fish say something's wrong? What do you mean something's wrong, Fish? Don't say something's wrong. I do know that my belts are not, like, they're super loose, which is why they're just kind of bouncing all over the place. And one is not where it's supposed to be. But I got that. Okay, that one can go up for now.
Uh-oh. You're in trouble, boss.
Hang on before we say uh-oh. Just because the internet. What's your beef? The bottom belt. Okay, the one I'm doing right now. You know what's great about a delay?
Okay, hold on. Stop. They are correct. You're going to have to undo what you're fishing right now.
Why?
And go back to that motor.
Just give me a second.
Nope, because I can show you. Hold the belt where it's at, and you'll see that it's riding on a plastic piece. Can you see it in your camera?
That's because it's like super loose. Just
no.
Hang on a second. No, hang on a second. Look.
See, that's supposed to go around the bearing and on the other side of that little plastic joint up to the motor.
So this one goes over here.
Yep, and that one goes in the gap between the motor and the printed piece before it hits the motor pulley.
Oh, it does too. It has to go in
there.
In that hole and then around it. Dang it.
Yep. And that's what they're pointing out for us.
All right. Fine. You know what? You win this time, internet. Bunch of jerks. I did it right on the other side.
It did it right when you weren't looking.
Yeah, that's right. It's all this pressure. I can't handle it. Go lower. Does that make you feel better? I knew it was too easy. This whole build up until now has been super easy because, you know, LDO makes a good kit.
Now you've officially made Fish happy.
Oh, well, that's all that matters, really. Jeez. Like, Jason, I appreciate the extra belt. Damn.
Rain would like to know if you got a pie with your kit. So I think it's a good opportunity to talk Sparta kits.
Yeah. Because, yeah, I got a pie. Like, I wish it was an actual pie because I'm kind of hungry.
Sounds good. So the Sparta kit is the LDO kit with some extras.
Mm-hmm.
What extras do we got?
Do you want me to handle that, or you want to handle that?
I think you need to handle that.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna work from memory here.
That's what we're hoping for.
So, one of the big things is you're going to be receiving, obviously, with the Sparta kit, which is a little bit different than the regular LDO kit, is the pie. That's a big part of it. You are going to get the pie you need for the project. The other thing that we include, as Sparta includes in theirs, that doesn't come with the LDO one, is the hot end. And in this situation, we have a Revo Voron. The what's the
Quick
last
interruption. Have a good afternoon, veteran. Say hi to the family for us.
Oh,
Apparently
bye-bye,
Laura said
veteran.
hi. So I pulled up the product listing and I've put it in chat for everybody.
Thank you.
The add-ons from the LDO kit are the Raspberry Pi and the Voron hot end, the
That's what I
Revo
thought it was.
Voron, plus a link and instructions on how to contact the Spiffy folks for your printed parts with a $25 off coupon.
Yes, and if you wanted a Dragon High Flow, I think that's an option as alternatively to the Voron Revo. I think. Don't quote me. It's on the product page. Now, before we go and start cranking on belts and doing all kinds of stuff, we're just gonna, so what I'm doing, I'm just snugging these up on this bracket to hold them tight so that I can sit down and drink a little bit of coffee.
So Joseph in chat has said, or even the Rapido, just contact them when ordering. And if anybody's going to know, it's going to be the guy who's selling it.
Yeah, he gonna know what it is. Wow, that was a lot. Yes, if there's an alternative or something you want, do that. Also, when you are looking at ordering your kit, if there's a specific color that you want for filament or something, just reach out. Always reach out. If you have a question or have a concern, reach out, because the best way to get an answer is not through Discord questions or asking random people. Just talk to Joe. Talk to get your answer directly. That is good coffee. Okay. So are you saying that this message that's on my Discord here is from Mark about how to fish this thing?
Yeah. And it makes sense.
Oh, I see. Okay, so he's using a zip tie as the kind of a guide. I get it. I understand. Wow. Hang on just 1 second. I have a small child who's looking to get my attention.
Oh. The timing is great because my mouse is not working properly, so let's fix that too.
Sorry about that. He was given the opportunity to go grocery shopping, and he decided not to, and now he's not a fan of what it is. Okay, so before we get to snuggulating any belts or anything, we have to make sure that everything is where it's supposed to be.
So Fish would like you to say, or like you to know, that when you're tightening the belts, move the gantry to the front and make sure both sides touch at the same time.
Really, to the front. I always tighten to the back, but yeah, okay.
And then Hoot Builds wants to know if it's an affiliate link in the description to the printer.
No, for the LDO, for the Sparta kit, no, it's not an affiliate link. However, if you make mention that you saw it here, then Joe will say, hey, thanks, and keep sending me stuff. Okay, those are all touching where they're supposed to. And I didn't switch the camera back, so you're just looking at my butt. Great. So they're just not
I didn't
snug.
hear any complaints.
So back and behind, over, out, over. We're going to get the approval here. This one, same thing. Over and around, out to this back hole and over. This one comes over and through. I think I can get a little tension on them now. And then maybe trim them. So what I'm doing here is I'm just anchoring down one side. So then I can pull tight. There's a key thing when doing this as well about, and it mentions it in the instructions, of course, but keep your idler completely loose so that it can float all the way to the back. So if I need to add any tension, I have the idler available. Pre-tensioning any of the idlers just means you don't have any ability to adjust later. Look at this. There's enough belt here, Bob, to fix a Prusa.
Or to make a belt. Print a little part and have yourself a fancy LDO belt.
Oh.
See?
See? Oh, wow. I think I might need the fatter belt.
You could almost Beverly Hillbillies it and just Jethro tie it in the front.
You could. You really could. Okay, so I followed Fish's advice, and my gantries follow all the way to the front. Everything seems to be moving smoothly. Nothing's binding. What is the ideal tension for the Z belts?
The German spec?
Yeah. So they do talk about it in the thing, but I mean, over tightening the belt is going to torque the rod, right? Mm-hmm. So you don't want to make this so that it's like stupid loud, but I don't know. I can strum it, but it's not like it's making a crazy high-pitched sound. It's a very, very low tone. Oh.
So you're looking for a custard pie tension, not a, kind of firm?
Kind of firm. A bit of, like you should be able to feel the resistance when pushing on that, right? Like I'm just tapping on these and I have a bit of deflection. Obviously, if you pinch them, you just put them together, but I might need a little bit of tension on these X and Y belts because they're a little floppy, but that's okay. We have the technology. And I do want to put a little bit of tension on the idlers anyways. I don't want to have them backed all the way out. There, see now. Top belt needs a little bit more. That's this one here. Yeah, I think that's good. They're not like cranked right down to the moon. Well, that's good.
Cranked right down to the moon. Okay.
All right. Should be able to make the belt touch with a single finger. I mean, if I push hard enough, yeah. I am not doing the Omron probe Lightspeed. There is in this LDO kit the provisions to do the clicky. I have seen far too many people with melted probes. The inductive probe that they're using is a good probe in the aspect of what it actually is.
What it was made for.
As far as what it was made for. However, it is not made for the temperatures that they're using it for. It's just not the right application for that product. If I was going to do a probe, I would probably actually pick up one of the Sparta3D probes instead and use the pinion thing in there instead.
Oh, jeepers, Duff. That guide gives you very detailed information on adjusting the tension for your belts.
Oh. Yeah, the printed parts, that is something as well that I'm still... What is... There's a harmonics thing?
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's another time's problem.
And I just received a notification that Dave is picking up his build right now.
Oh. 2 tabs. Okay. 2. Keep me open, please.
Well, we were here first.
That's right. Get your own internet, Dave. All right. I'm going to commit to shortening that belt.
Hoot builds. You've got an Ender 3 Pros. There are a big difference in the quality of print, speed, or the ease of use to justify the cost. Here's the big question. Do you enjoy the building of printers?
Do you want to just turn it on and go?
Because there's the building of the printer, the tuning of the printer, setting up the profiles, all of those things. If you enjoy that stuff, Voron's probably for you. If you don't enjoy that stuff, let's chat, because there's some better options.
If you want, in my opinion, one of the easiest, if you want to do a build with a bit of like setup, but as far as like just an easy follow the instructions, put it together, click and glue, click and screw, and away you go, without having to mess with any of the other stuff, like a Prusa is a great choice in that respect, because once you've built it, you've had the fun of doing the build, and then the software just kind of takes care of itself. There's no tweaking and tuning and everything involved.
For me, with the 3 Mark IIIs and the Mini that I've got, I love the building the Prusa process because the instructions are step by step. You're good to go. Once it's built, you just hit print.
Yeah.
No tuning, no futzing, no
But
slice and print.
you do lose some of that other stuff if you are, again, interested in all the tuning and tweaking and stuff like that. This kit, as it sits, this is as close to that experience as you're going to get from the building perspective that I can say. I don't know too much on the tuning and stuff like that just yet. We just haven't got there yet.
I
We
agree
will.
with you, Hoot. For a $2,000 price tag, I would expect to be able to walk up and hit print. I think once you get it there, you can do that, but there's a bit more of the tuning to get it there.
Yes. There's a little bit more there, and LDO has done quite a good job of putting a lot of this together. They've included all the parts you need to get things going.
Well, LDO's done a good job with their kit, and then Joseph has done a good job with whatever's left
updating
out,
it.
Really,
yes,
just the hot end in the pie.
Yeah, and so with this kit that I've got here, with the hot end, the pie, and then if you were to add the printed parts, like Bob did, it's really just click and go. Like, it's pretty straightforward.
I'm excited to build the thing.
It's
I'm
technical.
nervous about once it's built, setting up the slicer profiles and tunings and that kind of stuff. That's my area of I don't know.
Yeah. Well, thankfully, I'm going to build a bunch of profiles, but also there's a lot of profiles. Like, a lot of this stuff is out there on the Voron Discord, in their documentation notes and stuff like that as well. Okay. Like, it definitely doesn't go on its own power anymore, but I feel like that's good. Profiles are built right into Process. They got Process Slicer profiles now? No way.
They do have. I just added it to my slicer yesterday. A Voron 2.4 profile.
That's where I'm going to start, right there. It's gold. This is a very technical build. Like, and
it does
ask
questions like, are you using the? There's two different tool heads. There's the afterburner and there's something else that I can't remember the name of right now. Not the stealth burner, but there's afterburner and there's some weird one that's got a linked extruder belt thing.
Oh, that's like their original version. All right, M3 by 30. M3 by 30 on the bottom. Yeah. Oh, I guess I need a nut in there too.
We got a couple of nuts in the stream, so is that enough?
Sometimes you feel like a nut.
And Frosty brings up a couple of points.
Okay.
The base profile in the slicer is going to get you close. Mm-hmm. You're going to want to tune from there, which is great.
Sure. Which is a lot of many different printers are like that.
Sure. And then because what we're after is finished print quality, we'll probably slow it down a bit.
Yes.
With the Vorons and the Core XYs in general, there's I want to make it go fast.
They're built for speed.
There's a point where speed costs quality. I'm not in a hurry.
I'm in a hurry to find my nuts. You'd think if by not moving anything, I wouldn't have lost anything, but...
And these are the M3 nuts?
Yeah, it's not like I don't have M3 nuts. It's just... Where are these ones? Where did I put them, Bob?
Would you like the Discord answer or the YouTube answer?
Either way, it's the same spot. It's just one's done with a little bit better English. Perhaps maybe I just haven't taken them out of this bag. No. I had the kids in here helping me out for a few minutes with some stuff, and maybe I just...
Check the floor.
I'm just going to use the stealth burner fastener kit.
Okay.
Because I betcha. Two hex nuts.
I just had the most disappointing thing of the day happen to me.
Okay.
Finished my coffee.
Do you want to make me another one while you're at it? Because I need one.
Just put that anywhere.
Yep. Well, the problem is I'm using the wrong. Okay. Okay. How about you just tighten on there? Why don't you do that?
I am way behind in these instructions. Oh, there we are.
There we go. There she be. All right. Okay, pull tight, tighten bolts. Check my work. All right, let's just tighten our bolts and then check my work. We've been checking though.
And we've had chat checking.
And that is important. That is why we do this. That is why I turn the camera this way. Would I break?
No, I was just laughing at you showing off the one that we hadn't seen yet to prove that it was done right.
It was done right. Okay, and then this one is now done right. There. Okay. Pull tight. It doesn't look like we got a lot of room back here for excess belt. So I'm going to have to trim some of this up. Okay. Completely missed the garbage. Okay. So that is on. That is secured. And you can't see a thing about it. But that's fine. So the next step we're talking about here is the probe wires. And we're not using the probe. So that's fine.
Do we need to do anything because of the different probe that we're using?
As far as I understand it, no. I think that stuff can be added on after the fact.
Okay.
But now we're going to take a brief interlude. And I'm going to see, I'm just going to go to the Voron clicky. Okay, there's some sort of posted thing that I need to. This is where also I know Lightspeed was mentioning it. I haven't finalized all the printed parts for this thing yet either, just because I wasn't 100% certain what needs to be done on it. But I believe that's something you can.
Frosty says you need to add the bottom part of the probe now.
Bottom part of the probe now. What part? Oh. Aha, that part. Huh. Cool. About that. I don't have that part. Okay. I don't think I have that part. I might have that part. One moment while I root around in my box of goodies.
Root around in your box. This is another point where I truly appreciate the work that the Spiffy guys put into their projects, because the last time I saw one of their kits, things were fairly well organized.
What I'm doing right now is I'm just checking. So when I loaded all these files into the slicer, I keep them all in the slicer. I just move them off to the side in little boxes basically while I'm printing. So I can go back and double check that I've got all the parts. And
the part with 3 magnets at the bottom.
No, I got nothing with magnets right now. Okay, I can say that I don't have that part, but that's okay because I do have technology. And what I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to set up okay. I have a Prusa Slicer window open here, so I'm just going to load it up, and I might be able to just print it out real quick.
Nice. And maybe we can continue a little bit with stuff that doesn't go on the carriage while it's getting spit out.
That's right. And I also have to find the clicky probe box. I think it's
and instructions, because this says Afterburner.
That is clicky right there. So one box or one little package comes with everything you need. Oh yeah, here's some magnets and a wire. Okay. Interesting.
wonder, there must be a separate set of instructions for the
There is
stealth
for the
burner.
clicky. There is a different instruction for the stealth burner. We can go through all that in just a moment. Oh my. Thank you, Frosty, for sending me the file. I've just got everything opened right here. I'm just trying to see which. I'm just trying to find it right now in the folder. Printers. Holy jumping, there's a whole bed's worth of stuff to look at here. Because they've got parts for the clicky and the dock and the mount and that's like a day's worth of printing right there. But just this one part is fine. I apologize for the riveting television here, but you know. I didn't realize I needed that part. I think it's just going to get printed in pink ABS.
Well, why not?
Well, it's because it's loaded.
Well, I didn't say why. I said why not.
Oh, okay, good.
I got no problems with the pink. What I do have, lots of questions. Tool heads and extruders, stealth burner. There we go. Manuel.
Okay. Unfortunately, it is a 40-some minute print. That's okay. Printer's preheating right now anyways. And we will work on something else.
I think that with the next step in the main guide being
Build the extruder.
that it's time to switch over to the stealth burner instructions and build the extruder.
Yeah, so that's what we're going to do. I'm just bringing that up right here. Bob, did you get those?
I just found them on the Voron site.
Okay. Now, I have already done a bunch here. Let me put back to camera stuff. And let's make a little adjustment here because we don't need to see up high anymore. Shaky camera. There we go. Just slides right underneath the gantry of the tool. Like,
yeah, you'll probably want to. Yeah, there we go.
I'll just clean up some of this. So this is the bag for the clicky stuff that I need when we get there. Might have to do some soldering. I don't know. Hopefully, we'll see. One of the things I have done, though, is, like I said, I've done all the heat set inserts for this. It's just going to be a case of having to assemble it and move all these other parts out of the way. And then I've got more parts in a box.
Parts in a box.
And then I have stealth burner parts over here. So that's the stealth burner accessories kit. And I just need to locate the extruder gears and stuff. Ooh, a little PTFE fitting. All right. Nozzle probe shaft I used. Thumb screw kit. Oh, this little thumb screw.
This little LDO icon. That's
I
fantastic.
love it. That's great. Let me just start this print real quick here. Now that everything's been properly heated. There we go. Okay, so I'm gonna need a little bit of room to work. Let's just move this out of the way. Grab you. Make a little pile of parts. Looks like we have an LDO Motors Bondtech kit.
Nice.
We have a little PTFE fitting. We have a little PTFE tubing. We have a motor gear and some bearings. We also have one Voron
Rivo. What's the other parts in there?
That's
No, the blue thing in the box.
all important stickers. This is the something missing.
Nice.
Go ahead and buy all your nozzles. Now, I can tell you too that Sparta has the nozzles, just not posted on the website. So
Soon TM.
soon.tm, because I will be picking up a set for this printer. I have a set of Revo nozzles for another printer, but another set is always a good idea.
And now that you got multiple printers running the Revos, it's good to have spares.
That's right. Just trying to see if I can see that this printer is actually printing the part. And not yet. It's sticking good.
And you've learned your lesson, so you just did something that we didn't say. In the Revo packaging, pull out that tray and look underneath because they hide.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, sorry. So there's in there, you get some stickers, and then under the tray is the wires you need for a normal
Printer
Revo install.
Yeah.
Thermistor wire and a thing. All right.
Why'd they only give me this much wire? Because you didn't look under the tray.
That's right. And always shake an empty box. So this PCB is the one that comes with the LDO kit.
With the LDO recently released adapter part so that it fits the stealth burner.
Which I'm going to actually, I just mocked it all up earlier because, you know, you need to make sure everything's good when.
Well, you get excited and you want to see how it looks.
I don't know what that was.
Forever.
I don't know what that was, but it's gone. Must not have been that important.
Unless it was the nut that was holding that in.
I think it was the screw that was holding that in. Found it. Because it's a heat set insert, actually.
Yeah.
And then there is a couple 2mm screw head screws here. Which took me a minute to find. Just because we're not at this stage of the thing, so we're going to have to undo that, build it up later. So this is that part that we were talking about. LDO just released this. I tweeted about it. Jason tweeted about it, but it's just an adapter part that kicks the board over. Just uses a heat set insert and a couple little screws, and away you go. And it uses the same holes that are already in your printed Stealth Burner parts.
And because we're talking about Jason and him tweeting out information for these kits and builds, if you're not already following him on Twitter, go do that.
Go do that. Go do that. So I've already put, like I said, the heat set inserts in the different parts that we have. I'm going to keep some of those in the box just because they're easier to find. And okay. So we're going to try using all the Stealth Burner fasteners only here. I'm just going to put them in front of me just so I have them. Just because I am curious, although this was kind of done after the fact, is I wonder if Jason has all the parts that you need.
So the Voron dev team are always working on making changes, which
it happens.
Good for them, but does get frustrating when things change after you've already made your purchases.
Correct.
So that's why I say follow Jason, because he does things like create this adapter part so that this kit you've already bought can now be made to work with this thing they just finalized.
And the reason, the big reason why I particular am using the Stealth Burner over the regular one is its ability to print the materials that I print the most of, which is PLA. Because by default, the Voron is not a very good PLA printer. The cooling fans on the hot end assembly that they've designed were not geared towards PLA. They've openly said it. Everyone's a well-known fact. It just wasn't what they were planning on making it for. They decided ABS is the way, and therefore deal with it.
So Jason's a nice guy and works on this stuff. I swear it's constantly. So follow him on Twitter for updates. As products come into Sparta for this type of stuff, follow that link for updates as well. And there's a monkey out there too. Keep an eye on what he's doing.
I do stuff, and
you got to watch him.
I'm shifty. I do things. The other thing to keep an eye on is I'm gonna be, like I said, I'm gonna be moving around. I'm gonna be heading to Earth. I'm gonna be seeing what kind of shenaniganry I can get up to there. All right. So this is a section that we need to start here. We just need to add a little lubrication to these bearings because they are dry.
Lube your bearings.
I'm a big fan of the Super Lube PTFE oil in this respect because it's very thin, but also, oh, so satisfying. Always keep paper towel nearby. That's the yeah. Lightspeed mentions a good thing is that the CAD work that was done by Voron is very good, and I actually used the CAD drawings in order to design the color scheme that I was going to use for this printer. Make sure the orientation of the idler is shown. Yes. And we have white now. One happy idler. Bob, I see you posting links.
It's what I do.
It's fantastic. Now we're going to need the thumb screw assembly. And I need to, oh, there's an extra spring. Oh, look at me not paying attention.
Spare parts bin.
Spare parts bin. Oh, geez. AKA the keyboard for now. This just comes all ready to go.
Look at that fanciness.
Excuse me. Now, we have a decision to make here on a hidden part that we're never going to see.
Okay.
Pink or blue?
Blue.
To go with the blue. Let's go more blue.
I'm just looking at the outer shroud and thinking that it's pink. And a lot of pink.
There's a lot of pink, yeah. That's interesting. Okay. Next step is to get the bearing and the other shaft that we have here.
Is that a plastic gear?
This is a plastic gear, yeah.
Okay.
Standard issue gear. Now this, apparently you need to make careful that these go on here smoothly. Now, when you're, a lot of the instructions that I'm reading are really talking about when you're self-sourcing these parts. You got to be careful on some of this.
Sure.
When you're dealing with the LDO stuff, you're really okay.
Frosty, we might get to the CAD later.
So there is a bearing in there. The problem with the color scheme with the CAD that I have is that
Somebody went crazy?
Well, no, it doesn't have the stealth burner in it.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's not a thing that I did. All right, we need to press that in with even pressure. Use the end of the nut driver. Just kind of push it down. It slips right into place. I don't have to worry about like ramming it or anything. All right, that goes in. Oh, and there's apparently a screw that just gets put in here randomly now. Okay. One M3 by 6. Flathead screw. Okay. So that is something that is not in the LDO kit here. Which is fine. There is an M3x6 button head screw. Odds are
that's not going to fit in the recess very well.
Well, odds are it got changed over time. Looking at the recess that's here, I think it'll actually fit fine. These parts that I've printed were from some of them are from the beta version, and some of them are from the other version because I didn't change some of it. And I'm going to just say that the stuff that Jason put in here was probably from that version as well. I don't know what that screw is for, but whatever. It fit. Everything fit in there just fine. Just screw in a hole. All right. Find this. Find that. Stick those two together.
Must be some kind of an adjustment screw for something.
It's got to be.
Oh, I see what it is.
What is it?
So your tension lever, the blue pieces that you've put together there with the thumb screw knob, it is a stop. That in its final position, that dictates how close together those gears can possibly mesh.
Right. Now I think I need to use one of these teeny tiny set screws. Okay, just be extra careful with your book, please, and we'll take to the library and let them know, okay? Wow, that is a tiny, tiny screw, or like set screw. Ooh. Like if I sneeze, I'm gonna lose it. But I remember there being some, I don't want to say like controversy, but some controversy surrounding these set screws because they need to be very shallow so they don't bind up.
Okay.
So included in the LDO kit is a set of these M3x2 set screws.
Ow.
There is some M4 set screws, but this thing is such a small little guy that it needs to be there. Okay. Carefully tighten the head. Okay, so we're not trying to worry about where we're going to position it for now because we're going to have to adjust that to make sure that it's equal.
In the filament path.
In the filament path. That's a common thing, not to worry. It does say on this step to apply thread locker. Thread locker's already applied to the item. Because Jason is the best. Well, okay then. Be like that. Okay, that's all sandwiched together. M3x25. Okay. Don't over tighten. These are just into. Okay.
Tighten until the plastic bends and cracks. That seems like over tightening.
Tighten until the plastic bends and cracks. Back up 2 turns, discard parts, reprint, and try again.
Seems like silly instructions.
That does sound like a silly instruction. I get it. They're trying to make a joke. It's not a very good one. Okay, so it says make sure that the filament's in line with that. Sorry, child. Insert filament, check for alignment. Huh. I need some filament.
I wonder where you'll find some.
You'd be surprised. I just need some loose filament. Oh. Got it. One moment, please. Okay. Insert filament. Oh. Nothing but the finest prucement for this.
And align the gear.
Well, the gear is aligned. I think I can just snug that up now. Okay, motor housing, everything sits nice, good. Okay, next piece is I gotta take this assembly.
Mm-hmm.
I guess we're just leaving the filament in there for now. Okay, good. Take this assembly and insert it thusly. And an M3 by 25 again, okay. Interesting. You know what helps? Putting it through the printed part.
Dave says your door is ajar.
My door is ajar. It is. It's also a door.
Hole a little smaller than we'd hoped for.
There's just a little bit of a burr of filament in there.
Aha.
So I'm just going to run this in and then just kind of keep running it for a second and let it become a drill bit. This is not something I need to worry about too much because mostly just a alignment thing. Okay. And then let's just make sure this one's clear. Oh yeah. Good stuff. Now, word on the street is there's potentially going to become one of these types of screwdrivers at Sparta.
Oh, fancy.
That's just a secret from me to you.
They are handy little tools.
Okay, don't tighten that bolt. That's great. I snugged it up and then backed it off half a turn, like a turn.
So that the part still moves freely.
Part still moves nice and free. Nice and freely. Okay, now I need another part.
That's the one.
And that goes in there. And then another M3 by 25.
So does that additional M3 by 25 that you're putting on now act as another pivot pin?
Yes.
Okay.
So using a lot of screws as pivots. So the same concept, tighten it up and then back it off a half turn.
And then on the next page, they tell you that screw we were talking about is the anti-squish thingamajig.
There is, in fact, a hole right there.
To adjust the anti-squish thingamajig.
Yeah. Okay. And then this just latches onto there. Well, I can, pull my filament through it.
That's a nice level of adjustment.
Well, so here's the thing with this is it's for speed load.
The anti-squish thing, I'm thinking about the function of that after reading the comment of, when you're printing with flexibles or some
Softer
fancy
materials,
filament, it can be a problem. So here's an adjustment for you to set that maximum squish level.
Maximum squish.
Which is also going to be a thing if we go down the rabbit hole of the ERCF.
You say if. I'm saying when. All right. I've just tightened that little squish thing majiggy in all the way and then backed it out like 2 turns. We'll see what that does. I can always adjust it later.
I agree.
NEMA 14 step air. You know what? We're leaving all that wire on there. What would I even think about taking the wire off? What the heck? Okay, so it looks like I need an M3 by 30.
Before you get carried away with that, I think there's a decision point that they should have indicated and didn't.
Okay. What you got?
That motor can go on 2 different directions. Wires up or wires down.
Right.
Let's decide.
based on this board and the fact that the wire connector is on the bottom for the motor, let's go maybe wires up so that we kind of come up and over and onto that board.
I'm going to scroll ahead a bit and see if, yeah, they're not giving me a lot of information here.
That I think I can adjust after the fact.
I understand, but it would be nice if they would have.
Although maybe not, because once I put this on and then the face of this goes up against here, it kind of does make it so you can't adjust it. I'm going to go wires down. Wires down, Dan. Wires down.
What's interesting is when they show putting that on, that motor must be pointed towards the back.
It is the back.
Oh yeah, that's a missing component.
What's missing? What do you got?
Routing that wire.
Oh yeah, wire. Well, historically, as we know, wire management has been the bane of the Voron system.
Sure, they added a bunch for the LEDs, so I was hoping for some. Hoping for some better wiring instructions here.
Yep. Okay. And that's why my desk is a giant mess, because then I can find hardware when I need it. So there's an M3 by 8 socket cap head that has to go in. I wonder why those M5 washers are there. I wonder if they were like spacer shims or something. Weird. Or again, something that was built under the previous generation that has now changed.
I would just call that. No, I see why they put the washer there. They put the washer there for torque displacement.
No, I know that. It's just in the hardware, I have 3 M5 washers.
Ah.
Not sure why. Yes, this little guy is so that you can get alignment.
You can work on the adjustment and the gear meshing and all that stuff.
Set gear meshing, adjust the stepper motor. Yeah, there should be a very small gap between the thing, and they're showing a nice X-ray view that you don't have. So I have no idea how how snug any of this is.
Well, you can kind of do it by feel.
Yeah. So what I did is I just tightened that down, and now as I move my gear by hand, I can see the shaft of the motor spinning. So I know that they're meshed together. gear should be fully tight. It should have a slight play and should not be fully tight against. That seems silly. Okay. And M3 by 20 now. This is the other reason why I chose motor down, is because this is the bracket for the other thing. You're gonna have a bunch of wires already up here. Let's try to keep them a little bit less issued. Haven't said anything about my new shirt today, Bub.
Correct. And do you know why?
Why?
I don't have one.
Well, let me tell you, for the remainder of the year, you can use the code MM2021 at Wham Bam.
I'm going to go ahead and say that your code is incorrect.
Oh, sorry, 2022. Jeez.
I got you.
I'm gonna just delete that. Never mind. I lost a year. So 2022 is the code. And
I got the link there and the code.
You would save 10% on any purchase made at the Wham Bam shop. There is an affiliate link, I believe, there that Bob was posted, and that is just a thank you kindly code. You don't have to use it. If you do, great. If you don't, great. You want to save some money? Great. You don't? Great. I am not one to tell you what to do. Okay. So undo the filament latch to expose the bolt pocket for the cable cover. Okay. Let's stick that in there. Cable cover. Oh, wow. We're getting right into that now. Okay. The bolt is threaded directly into plastic. Okay.
That link doesn't work. What kind of shenanigans is that?
Sparta channel, general chat, pinned message. Sam
Yep.
pinned it the other day. That's kind of fun. Peekaboo.
Let's just click on that link and make sure it works.
M3 by 6 button head screw. Oh, wow. That's a tiny one. Ah. Okay.
Oh, you found it.
Found what?
That thing.
Yeah. So now I got to take this one out.
You might pull the pivot pin for that door to get a better angle.
Mm-hmm. I might. I don't know what kind of difference it makes, but we're going to go with it. Oh, so much work here. You know, it's great that one little part is almost done.
Nice. And we don't even need it yet.
Well, it goes up here.
I understand, but we haven't put anything up there that blocks it yet.
That's right. So now this little guy goes in this hole that I'm going to drop this screw and lose it. It's going to happen. The other reason why I wanted to build this stealth burner over the other one is this is just more pretty.
You wanted the fancy LEDs.
Yeah. And it has fancy LEDs, yes. Okay, that screw is too short, not going to work. It's fine. We're going to use one of those.
Is this the screw that holds that arm on?
No, this is the screw that just covers this door hole. It's said to use an M3x6, but with this redesigned cover, I bet you if I looked at the instructions that LDO had put out for that change.
Covers the door hole.
So this cover was modified under the new version that LDO released for this bracket thing and everything.
Okay.
So.
Oh, I see.
I bet you if I read those instructions, the problem with this in general with the Voron is that because there's changes and updates and stuff, you need to have a bunch of pages open at a time. Because this is open at this time, I'm going to put this new board back in. Because it is a bit of a pain to put in otherwise. But they probably updated the literature to state because this door changed, it got a little different. Use a thicker screw, which is fine. I know I can't remember the name now, but earlier, like I said, somebody was asking about whether to buy this kit or another. You kind of have to be in a good mindset for building printers to build this kit.
Yeah.
Okay. Now it is time for
the hot side.
The hot side. Rain says fancy LEDs are always better. He's not wrong. Okay, so this is the Revo part. I feel like a little Sanjay hair in there.
No, okay, that's awesome.
That's pretty cool. All right. So it had me put in some heat set inserts and all that jazz, and I've already done all of that. Now what it's saying is take your wires and bend them all over the place so that they go up into this little channel. At least they have a little bit of wire routing
Yeah.
instructions here.
Carefully bend the strain relief to clear the printed part.
Yeah. I kind of see that as there we go. Okay. And then it wants the other printed part to go in and encapsulate these wires. Okay.
And 3x12s.
And 3x12s. I got those. I'd like them to start going into something, please. There we go. A little bit of force required just to get it going.
Get it to bite.
Yeah, it's just
3x8s.
3x8s. I'm all out of those here, but I believe that's just because they didn't know what tool head you're going to use, right? Or what nozzle. So
yeah,
there's a giant bag of them over there, so I assume I'm going to have plenty. I do appreciate that E3D made the holes for this an M3 versus like a 2.5 or a M2 or something silly. Okay, snug.
And time for the PTFE.
Time for the PTFE.
And they're going to tell you to trim it to 11 millimeters above the top of the tool bed.
But I'm noticing that this PTFE is a little crooked. So I'm just going to square it up. Stick it in. Get a ruler. And to kniff it. It says 11 millimeters, huh?
It says 11 of the millimeters above the surface of the printed part.
Good. This is my own personal preference. I don't have a chamfer bit around, so I'm just going to use the edge of the Exacto here, and I'm just going to basically chamfer the inlet to this PTFE. It just makes alignment so much smoother in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Any PTFE. Okay. So, and the next parts of the instructions we're going to be able to fly a little bit quickly because it says take your printed part, remove some internal supports.
Yeah.
Take your LED wiring and solder it all up this way, but LDOs come all
Resoldered?
soldered, ready
Oh,
to go.
so nice.
It's all ready to go. There's a diffuser mask thing that slips in behind this fan up into here.
Nice.
A black piece and a clear piece. The clear filament is provided by LDO in the kit, so it's a
Really?
clear ETG.
That's awesome.
So you will have to print that yourself. And so then you just slip them in the different spots, put in that diffuser, wedge an LED inside of it, route all your wires, shove some fans in, modify this fan by cutting the ears off, sanding it smooth, or whatever you need to do. Shove that fan in, couple screws, and you're done. So I have completed that part of things ahead of time. This part of things is completed already. I need to get that printed part that we made. And ta-da!
Ta-da!
Ta-da! It doesn't want to come off.
Normal. So I'm wondering, there must be yet another set of instructions for this clicky probe thing.
Sure is, Bob. Sure is.
Okay.
One part of my clicky probe stuck to the bed and damaged itself. I don't think that's going to be too consequential in the grand scheme of things. So I lost a little tiny chunk off the bottom.
Okay.
It's not a big deal. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. And then as we do, a little bit of fire. Clean as a whistle. Oh, now then. Some sort of... I don't know that there is an instruction for this clicky thing.
I've not found one yet.
So I don't know the orientation to stick this printed part in. Let me look at the picture that Frosty sent me. Oh, okay. So I can go like this, click here. Sorry for my distracted clicking. I have too many windows open. Okay. So this little guy goes with this piece touching the back of the... Goes like this.
Okay. Wonder if those screws are going to be accessible after the fact.
Nope, sure don't think so.
Oof.
Because it's my understanding as well that I need to have wires and stuff like that going to it. Because they've got wires. I might be able to just keep going and then pop this off later.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe solder this up on MakerDeck stuff, because this wire has to go in there. Oh, sorry, like this.
So this is the ZN stop, right?
Basically, it is the ZN stop, but instead of it being a static probe or end stop of that type, it is a it docks and removes itself and all that jazz.
Interesting.
But I think we can keep going on this part of things, as this requires. Let's do that. This part has to go on here. Done.
M3x8.
This is one of those. There's no good camera angle unless I had like a
Forehead cam.
GoPro stuck to my forehead. And another M3x8. Excuse me. So when I get to doing the next step of things, I will have to I'll have to take this all off.
Okay.
It's just going to have to be that way. And then this part sticks up in there. I could probably just take that filament out of there right now, but I like it in there.
Looks like it clips onto some screws.
Yeah, it does. But there's also wires that need to get fished up into this little hole.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh, I said the magic word.
That'll be 1/100th of a snow peso to the fish fund.
Looks like you can just get a driver in there to snug those up. All right, then I need to take this assembly and shove all of its wires in there. Ruh-roh.
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 Didn't you just snug that onto the...
Why do these two parts not go together?
What?
Like this fits on here, no problem. This does not fit in there. juice.
Do you have it backwards?
No. Just that. Oh. I have a feeling they changed the printed part
Normal.
from the one that I printed. Deep breath. Stealth burner. Voron. Why on earth? It looks like they say that there's two different parts. So I have to reprint this part because there's chamfers now on the edge so that this part sits into the other part.
Okay. So, with that being said,
that's going to be the end of it for today, I think.
It's been a good 2.5 hours of progress, so that's not a bad place to end it. But if you got to reprint a part,
yeah,
raise the flag.
Because otherwise, because this is now changed.
Yeah.
I had another one of these printed the other day, and it was fine, and everything fit together beautifully. That's because I was using
an older
version of the part that didn't have these chamfered sides. But then I dropped the part on the ground, and it went kablooey, and I needed to reprint it. So I just grabbed the part real quick and reprinted it. Only not realizing I've got a mix and mash of beta and non-beta parts. And yeah, and I believe if I take a look at this and I switch this over to ASA, and I slice those, it's a 6.5 hour print.
Yeah.
So that's not going to happen right now.
Well, my time machine's broken. Sorry.
And I don't know if I need to reprint this other back piece or not. I almost feel like I just should, just to make sure that it's correct. But I think that back part was fine, because I had set this thing up for printing for the Clockwork 2. Is what you gotta set it up for. And I did that. Yeah, all those parts look okay. Maybe. Let's see. Yeah, all that looks right. I can't spin the table around to show it, but That all looks like it lines up fine. So, good. Good enough anyways. I have to reprint the part, and then I have to change, get this installed anyways, get the clicky stuff sorted. Now, I'll probably end up picking up some of that stuff up on MakerDeck when I get there. And I will put some update photos on Twitter as we get going there. I kind of wish I got more done. But it is what it is. Can't do much about it. Hoop Builds, I'm glad you enjoyed the stream. I hope everyone else enjoyed it who was here. And I hope anybody is looking forward to seeing the next steps. I will be obviously having to do more streams on this when it comes to wiring and configuration, initial startup, and stuff like that. So those will probably be happening in the coming weeks. And this is one of those ones that I don't want to rush the build on. I want to take my time and do it.
Get it right.
Do it properly. You know, I could probably just cut this part and modify it, but why? Let's just do it right. Make it nice. And I'll just reprint that front panel piece and then I'll be done. Okay. Thanks again, everybody, for coming out. Thanks again for Bob for being here. Always appreciate having a Bob around. For anybody who doesn't know how to find me, Bob's posted the link in the Twitter. Be sure to find Bob, too. Follow Bob. Bob needs more Bob love. And otherwise, I think we're going to end it here. Hope everybody has a fantastic rest of their day. See you later.
Have good Sundays.